So today I wanted to go through my dystopian punk speed art and the process that I went through to make it, because this is the first time I've done anything more than one character and a monster. This time I actually had 4 characters and a monster, and I wanted to make sure that I do it correctly. I did use some references for the characters, which were the dystopian punks, and this is how they look like, and I wanted to recreate that in my own style and put it in a digital paint form. I started the painting with just blocking in shapes, and I wanted to make sure that I have the proportions correct and the basic colors of the monster. So I put that in, and I typically start with something that is a little bit desaturated colors. Like I started with black and white to start, and I would just want to block in the backgrounds. And I did experiment a little bit with that, so I added some clouds and I wanted to add a planet. So I put that in, and now I'm just working with the foreground to try and create some depth and exploring some ideas with how the background is going to look and all of that. But I wanted to give the monster a little bit of depth to make sure that he looked menacing and a little bit intimidating. So I added a companion, which is the small little octopus. And this is how basically the OctoHedz was reborn. Like, I did 2 paintings before that, and this one where I decided that I wanted to take that project further and do the OctoHedz after I did the Down the Rabbit Hole. And now, as soon as I started blocking in the OctoHedz, I wanted to go and start working on the first dystopian punk, which is the ape. So I just wanted to make sure that the hoodie is very distinct and it's showing that it has some age to it. So just experimenting a little bit with colors, and I saw another concept art from before, and I thought a yellow jacket would look very distinct, especially with the orange of the monster. So we'd kind of do a little bit of contrasty colors, and they will look very, very similar in a way. And now working with the ape himself, trying to make him look very detailed as possible, because this is my focal of the image. And just going in and trying to make sure that it is proportional and looks good. And at this moment I decided that maybe the background does not work for the image that I have, and I wanted to do something different. So I've been playing around with that, and now just trying to experiment with how my interpretation of the VR would look like for the second character. And I just wanted to do something that is more close to what I would think, playing around with that. But still, like, I needed to change some characters around and make sure that they fit the theme. And lastly, I'm working with G Money's ape at the back here, and it's one of my favorite looking characters. I really like the laser eyes, so I wanted to make sure that it actually distinct. So I decided to move it from the background to a little bit of a foreground to be like a second man standing. And it would complement the ape because there are now 2 apes standing side to side, and then there are 2 humans. And now I'm just playing around with what would that VR look like, but I'm still kind of unsuccessful. So I'm just experimenting with some ideas, and I decided, I'm like, hey, maybe a laser would look good. So I added a laser, and it actually I'm digging it quite a bit. And now I'm decided that I'm just gonna do like a sci-fi door in the background, and it actually turned out really, really well. And once I've done that, now I'm working with the foreground, and now I'm working with the monster, adding some details, highlights. And once you start doing the highlights, the whole image kind of comes together, and you can see the depth of everything. And that's where the whole image have like a solid feet to stand on. And lastly, I'm just going around experimenting with different weapons and I thought a sword would look very, very good, more like a lightsaber. So I'm just adding that in, and you'll notice that I'm zooming in and out because I'm adding a lot of detail. So that portion is more like zoomed in, trying to make sure that I get all the details in the right positions that I want. And yeah, this is how the final image looks like. Well, I hope you liked this video, and I hope you enjoyed the painting. And if you want to get more details about OctoHedz, please follow the channel and follow the Twitter. I'm going to be doing giveaways this week, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled for any announcements that come up. So if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this video as well, where I talk about the OctoHedz project and what it's all about. And just remember, take it one day at a time, and I'll see you in the next video.